So the question we're going to look at today is, what is it that separates people who make anything they want come true and have like the coolest things and experiences and relationships? What is it that separates them from the people who just kind of have life happen to them? We settle for normality, for what's realistic, for what's expected. And the bottom line is, it comes down to something we believe. When we were little, we all had amazing capacity to dream and to create and to use our imaginations. And somewhere along the way, we wisened up and we got smart and we figured out how life really is. And we picked up our textbooks and we put away those silly ideas and we got serious about life. And we knew that if we just worked harder and longer and knuckled down, one of these days we'd have, I don't know, like a normal life where you get a job and you do stuff and you make money and maybe you have kids and a family. And, you know, for so many of us, we look back and think like, what did I do with my life? Like, what happened? What happened to my dream of being a rock star? Like, the belief that I could be on stage and playing in front of thousands of people and being like, bang, I'm playing my guitar and everything's awesome. What happened to that dream that you could be a knight? That you could have a sword and armor and you could fight, you know, other people with swords and armor. But like for real, maybe without the dying part. Like what happened? What is it that stands in between people who become professional WWE wrestlers who pretend to fight people in their underwear and yet like hundreds of thousands of people and kids think they're heroes? What is the difference between that guy and gal or us? The normal day Joe who has a job, you know? Do you love the job you have? And you may. You may, absolutely. Do you love the relationships you have? And you may. But did you ever wish they were more? That you could make more money? Like everybody wants to make more money, right? We're like, yes, if I could make more money, then I could do more cool things and I could have that yacht and that boat and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people wish they could have relationships that are like loving and wonderful, where our kids talk to us and care about us, that our spouses actually admire us and love us, and that we don't succumb to the mundane, to the everyday. What did you used to dream about? Take a moment and really think about that question. What is it that you desired? And how about now? What is it that you want? If you had 30 seconds to answer this question, what do you want? Name 3 things. Ready? Ready, Mark? Get set. Go! Okay, you can pause the video. I'm not actually waiting 30 seconds, but 30 seconds. What did you come up with? If you were to have won $1 million, like right now, today, you got a phone call. Hello, is this? Yes, you have won $1 million. Congratulations, you are a big winner. What would you do? What would you change about your life? What would you spend it on? What would be the first thing you do or see or be? And what if you had 6 months left to live? Your doctor calls you and they say, well, you got 6 months and then you're going to be perfectly healthy and then you're just going to drop dead. Just done. So you got 6 months left to live. What are you going to do? How are you going to spend it? You got $1 million. You had 30 seconds to think of the 3 things you really super wish you could have or do or be, and you got 6 months left to do it. What are you gonna do? What do you actually want? What do you desire? That might be an answer to what you want to achieve now, what you want to bring into your life now, what you believe could be true if you only dared to believe it could be true. So what is it? What is it that makes these dreams come true? Why did you click on this video, right? Why are you here? Because you want to believe there's hope. I want to believe there's hope. I want to believe that by talking to you at home right now, that you may begin to believe that there's something more. There's something we have control over, that we can make things come true in our lives. So what is it? What is it that makes that magical difference? Okay, that is actually the secret and why you tuned in. So the secret is you have to be able to envision it. Napoleon Hill wrote in his work, Think and Grow Rich, that what a man can conceive and believe he can achieve. And it's true. Every great motivational speaker, every great inventor, thinker, musician, creator, when it comes down to it, that's always true. If you can crystallize and picture in your own mind exactly what you want, and you can feel in your heart what it would feel like to have that thing. And I don't mean tomorrow, but like now. What would it feel like? So close your eyes. Take a few moments and imagine what it would be like to have what you desire now. Can you do that? You can pause the video. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And imagine how it would feel to have what you want. Desire is the key. You have to desire it. And it can't be in the future, maybe. You got to believe in your imagination what it would feel like to have that thing. And you have to open your eyes. You have to see that image in your head. You have to believe how it felt could be true. You have to just believe it. You have to feel it. And after a little while, if you hold that firmly enough in your mind's eye, your life cannot help but manifest it. The situations that will happen to you, the people that you will run into, the way you interact in that moment, every little bit will draw you closer and closer to that thing happening. One day, I decided that I wanted to be in a heavy metal band and I wanted to go to Europe, right? And I wanted to go to Europe. So I thought to myself, this sounds pretty cool. This seems totally realistic. I had a sales job and I sucked. I super sucked. I was selling cars and I was just literally not good at it. I went to a lot of sales training seminars and one day I went to a seminar and this guy talked and he told me a lot of the things I'm telling you now. And I don't know what it was about it, but it sunk in. And so I quit my job. Um, and I thought to myself, what do I want? What can I do? What can I be? And I said, I want to go to Europe and play heavy metal. And I decided I want to be a massage therapist. That's also a thing I want to do. So I put myself in a massage therapy school and I started a band at like 30. And I I enjoyed massage a lot and I got good at it and I created a business that I enjoyed and that gave me enough money and enough time that I was able to still play in a band. And I learned very quickly that I wasn't any good at instruments. I mean, so I met these guys and they were great performers and they were great musicians. And they just started kind of showing up after a while. And the people that I needed showed up. I mean, like one day, this friend of mine walks this dude into my practice spot, and he's got this really awesome long hair and like this metal band t-shirt on, and he just goes, "Hey dudes, I heard you're looking for a guitarist. I'm an awesome guitarist." And we're thinking, yeah, okay, buddy, we're gonna show you our hardest song, and it's good luck. And so we showed him our song, and after about 30 seconds, he's like, "All right, let me slow down. I got it. Can I just start like adding harmonies to it?" And we were like, oh, okay. So we played our songs, and then he just added these amazing harmonies, and then like a solo, and we were, wow, okay. So you're hired. You're in our band now. It's gonna be great. And fast forward, the career that I had allowed me suddenly to have the time to continue practicing. And we talked about going to Europe. And we never wanted to like really make a living doing this because we enjoyed having families and lives and homes. But we had this real powerful vision of going to Europe and playing some kind of like super festival. But we're like a nobody band from Cleveland, like literally from Cleveland. And slowly but surely, we met the right people and we met a producer and who fired me from playing bass in my own band, by the way. He told me I was no good, which is fine. Because then we hired like a real bass player who was amazing. And I became a frontman. And I became a singer for the band. And lo and behold, I was great at it. I would get on stage and I would talk to people like I'm talking to you. And I would sing songs. And I'm an okay singer, I guess, but good enough for what I was doing. But people seemed to like it. And we kept talking about Europe. And we met a record label, amazingly based out of Cleveland, that had hookups in some super festival called Wacken. And next thing you know, a couple years went by, we recorded an album and another album. And, my massage work was doing really well. I had the time to keep going. I made just enough money. And next thing I know, I am getting on a plane to Germany. And they wait, right? We're flying out of New Jersey, and they say, hold on, we got to wait for like 45 minutes for a connecting flight, which is, super weird. And suddenly all these like epic rock star dudes and girls walk in, and we're like, wow, is this what Europe's going to be like? Because that's cool. And they sit down next to me and around me, and I ask them, hey, who are you guys? And they say, well, we're the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We're going to Germany to play Wacken at this festival. And I went, I'm your opening band. I get to open for you. And so we're chatting the whole way, and they're super excited about this show, and I'm super excited about this show. And Judas Priest was there, and Rob Zombie was there. And a nobody band from Cleveland played. For the months preceding this show, I imagined that I'd be playing for 10,000 people. So every time I'd get on stage, and I mean for like 10 people or 20 people, sometimes 50 to 100, but modest numbers around the Cleveland area or in the local couple states, I just saw 10,000 people, and I had this number in my head: 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. And so the day comes, I've gotten off the plane with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I am getting ready to play the show. We're like the first band, and we're in this giant circus tent. And there's probably a couple thousand people in here. And right as we're getting to go on stage, it starts to rain, pouring rain. And it just so happened that there were no other bands going on at that time at any of the other stages. So we weren't up against anybody. And people started pouring in. And our music was playing from the loudspeakers out into the rest of the festival grounds. And thousands and thousands of people start filling up this circus tent until it is wall to wall and out the door into the rain. And people have come to the front of the stage and they're cheering and they're dancing. And somehow some of them are singing along. And I have the experience of being a real rock star for like, half hour. When it was all done, I looked at one of the stage crew guys and I said, "Hey, how many people does this pavilion hold?" He went, "Well, the capacity is 10,000. Probably a little more than that here, considering how many people were out the gates, but yeah, 10,000. You easily played for 10,000 people." And of course I did. So I played in Europe for 10,000 people. That happened. So why did it happen? That seems like, it seems impossible. But if you go on to YouTube and you type in Dead Iron, Deadiron, one word, and you type in Wacken, Wacken, that show's going to come up and you can see it. I'm on stage and there's 10,000 people there. And it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I always believed I could have. And ever since I was, a teenager, I just kind of had this idea in my head that I could do that. And I did. It took me 20 years because it took me that long to believe I could do it, but I did it. And one day I believed that I could tell other people that they could do it too. First, I thought to myself, well, I'm not qualified to do that. I'm not capable of teaching that. I probably couldn't do it. Other people are certainly more qualified than I am. Maybe they're great salespeople or they've had these amazing experiences. And then it dawned on me that everything I've ever really imagined, really believed in, no matter how ludicrous or silly, I never let no get in the way. And one way or another, I made it happen. So that's it. That's step one. I want you to think about what you used to dream of, when you were little, when you were younger, when you had hope, right? That's what we're here for, hope, what you hoped for. I want you to think about what you want to achieve now. If you could do anything at all, right? 6 months left to live, $1 million in a bank account, the top 3 things you would do, right? What would you want to achieve? What would you want to be? What would you want to become? And what makes these things come true, these dreams come true or not, is whether or not you believe you can make them come true. With emotion, you have to feel it. You have to be able to picture it in your mind's eye. That's step one. It's going to be a couple more steps, and we're going to get into those in later videos. But for right now, I just want you to think about what you want and listen to my ridiculous story about playing with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in Europe. And I want you to imagine that if you were a little local band from Cleveland who there was no reason in the world you should have realistically been able to accomplish that feat at that festival, playing for that many people. I want you to imagine that you could have something like that in your own life. And that's it. That's step one. And we'll get to step two next time. So I'm going to wave bye-bye. I'm going to reach across my camera and press a little button. It's going to turn off, and I will see you guys a little later.